Hi, this is Dr. Lisa Oldson, physician and founder of Smart Weight Loss Coaching. I'd like to briefly say thank you so much to our regular listeners who follow the show and tune in every week. My team and I are incredibly grateful that you take the time to listen in and also to share our show with those you care about. Truly, thank you. Also, if you're serious about wanting to lose weight, I'd love to see you increase your engagement with our podcast workbook. The workbook goes along with episodes number 1 through 50 and propels you to take action to create habits that will help you lose weight and transform your health. It's available through our website at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Oldson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. There's a seismic shift happening in the treatment of excess weight, driven by Eli Lilly and soon to be followed by others, I am sure. They're not the first to sell their weight loss medications directly to consumers by giving them telehealth access to physicians, but I think they're hitting the market at just the right time with the right medication. I'm talking about Zepbound, Zepbound, which is like Wegovy or Ozempic, only more effective. In case you were absent for 2022 and 2023, Wegovy and Ozempic hit the red carpet, with celebrities touting their dramatic weight loss results from these medications. They're called GLP-1 agonists, which means that they bind to receptors in our bodies called GLP-1 receptors, mimicking the action of this hormone. When we use these meds, we have less appetite, greater satiety or fullness, and food stays in our stomachs longer, allowing that feeling of fullness to last. Many people report decreased cravings and also decreased food drama or food noise, along with their decrease in appetite. Not everyone ruminates about food all day long, but if you're putting away your breakfast dishes while thinking about lunch, then you might be the person who would love to dial down that food noise. It can get really loud. And of course, I should mention that Ozempic is FDA approved for type 2 diabetes because it does a marvelous job reducing blood sugar. Ozempic and Wegovy are actually the same medication. The generic term is semaglutide, which is the term we'll use here. When it's branded for type 2 diabetes, it's called Ozempic, and when it's branded for weight loss, it's called Wegovy. In addition to impressive weight loss, people with cardiovascular disease who take semaglutide have been shown to have fewer heart attacks and strokes and have a lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. This important data was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. The reason I want to talk about medication for weight loss today is because there's a new kid on the block. Just like semaglutide has been FDA approved for both diabetes and weight loss under 2 different brand names, tirzepatide is a similar drug that is branded as Mounjaro for type 2 diabetes and Zepbound for weight loss. Tirzepatide is even more effective than semaglutide, and people who respond to it lose an amazing amount of weight. We now have a medication that gets us to nearly the same amount of weight loss we can achieve with metabolic or weight loss surgery. I prefer to say metabolic surgery, by the way, to emphasize that this is not a cosmetic problem with a plastic surgery type of treatment. Excess weight, meaning a BMI of 30 or higher, is a chronic disease. In most people, it's a chronic progressive disease. And if you have this disease, it's not your fault. When we do surgery for it, we're treating this chronic disease with what was previously our most effective treatment. Now, however, we have meds like tirzepatide, a combination GIP and GLP-1 agonist. For you science geeks out there, GIP stands for glucose-dependent insulinotropic polypeptide, and GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide 1. Tirzepatide is a weekly combination shot that's incredibly potent, but is still pretty well tolerated by most people. And just like with Ozempic and Wegovy, you give yourself this shot at home. I invite you to think about excess weight as a disease with a similar root cause and similar treatment to diabetes, high cholesterol, or heart disease. These are modern-day diseases triggered by genetic vulnerabilities, but ultimately caused by our obesogenic environment. We don't have a cure for excess weight, despite what you might see on social media. What we do have is some highly effective treatment. Transformational changes in weight and health occur when we combine appropriate medication use with robust, science-backed lifestyle modifications. We all have a solid sense of which foods are healthy and which aren't, and we also understand that exercise is helpful for our health and preventing weight regain. What we often struggle with is the motivation and energy to make the changes that our brain tells us we should want to make. When I see a cupcake, I both want that cupcake and I don't want that cupcake. I want it because I know it would taste scrumptious and I'll get a little hit of pleasure immediately upon eating it. But at the same time, I simply don't want it because I'm trying to be healthy and manage my weight, and cupcakes work against my health and weight goals. But in this case, there's no dopamine hit when I take a pass on the cupcake. I'm looking at delayed gratification, which is a harder pill to swallow because the reward feels more nebulous, arriving at some undetermined future date. So we can tap into some little brain hacks to reward ourselves for our effort. We can practice rewarding ourselves for passing on the cupcake today for the payoff of better health, longevity, and weight at some future point in time. And if you think about it, we know full well how to do that, but some things are harder to pass up than others. Some people find it hard to pass up donuts. I don't find that hard at all because I don't particularly like donuts. So there's nothing intrinsically irresistible about donuts that makes them irresistible to everyone. Rather, it's the story we tell ourselves about donuts that makes them feel irresistible. If I tell myself I can't pass up donuts when someone brings them to the office because they're just irresistible, I begin to feel powerless. And when I feel powerless, how do you think I'll react when someone offers me a donut? Why even try? I simply take the donut and eat it. And that essentially confirms my original thought, which is that I can't pass up donuts. See, I can't pass them up. The good news is that there are other stories we can curate, other narratives we can tell ourselves. It's actually not a fact that I can't pass up donuts. That's simply a thought. To be more specific, it's a thought error. I have the opportunity to pause when I see the donuts and search for a more empowering thought that also feels true. For example, that donut will taste good for a hot second, but I know if I pass up the donuts, I'll fit into my jeans again, and that will feel amazing. Or perhaps this thought is more motivating for you. That donut might taste good for a moment, but I know how relieved I'll feel when my doctor tells me she no longer sees signs of pre-diabetes in my blood work. That's worth passing up a donut. When I think these thoughts, I feel confident that I can pass on the donut and survive it. That opportunity to pause and find a new thought. Medication can help create space for that pause. When weight loss medications allow you to dial down your focus on food, when they dial down that food noise in your head, then you can listen to your own inner wisdom. And it's helpful to have a coach or someone who knows how to do mindset work to help you during this process. This is where I have some thoughts on Eli Lilly. They're doing something really interesting. They're working with healthcare providers and allowing people to directly sign up for telehealth appointments to get access to weight loss medications. What I say to that is fantastic. It's the right first step. We need to democratize access to treatment for this chronic disease of excess weight. Let's lower the barriers to getting appropriate treatment. But let's not forget that treatment involves more than just medication. At the same time, I'm pleased to see access to weight loss meds increasing. Let me be clear that treatment of excess weight should include a combination of medication plus intensive lifestyle modification, best delivered by someone other than your favorite TikTok influencer. No offense to TikTok, we have an account there too. We need to give people guidance on nutrition, ways to increase the health span, longevity, fitness, habit change, mindset, sleep, hormones, stress management, and so on. I don't think Eli Lilly will provide all of that in a quick telehealth meeting, but what they do provide is the medication that creates the space to explore these other modalities. When you're not feeling hungry all of the time, you have more opportunity to practice the skills and strategies to lose weight, to make healthy foods, and to increase your movement. Can someone take tirzepatide and drop all of their weight while still eating fast food every day? Probably, because they'll eat so much less of it that they'll eventually lose weight. But the issue is that they may become what some in my field call skinny fat. Sorry for using the F word. It's a bananas term, skinny fat. What it really means is that you can have an unhealthy lifestyle and poor nutrition, but lose weight simply because you're eating so much less. That is never the goal. The goal is to help people explore ways to incorporate healthy changes into their lives with the help of medication and professional guidance. We're seeing too many people lose weight without making any healthy changes in their lifestyle. And so ultimately, while they may be thinner or even a healthy normal weight on the BMI chart, they're really not at their healthy weight. So I encourage people to find their system. Find your people, find your expert, and let someone help you through that process so you can make the healthy lifestyle changes. And then when the medication makes it easier to pause your eating, take that time to make your own lunch, take a walk, lift some weights, whatever things you're working on and you're practicing. And make no mistake, all of these things take practice, which is fine. It's not an emergency. This is a lifelong journey to better health, a longer health span, and wellness. With these highly effective medications, we don't know what percentage of people will take advantage of the opportunity to transform their health along with their weight. I just highly encourage you to take that approach. It's a much smarter way to lose weight. In fact, there's data telling us that people lose more weight and keep it off better when they have a combination of medication plus expert guidance on how to be healthy. If your BMI is 30 or higher, or 27 or higher with other weight-related health problems, I encourage you to see your primary care provider or connect with a doctor through Eli Lilly in order to get medication. Or my bias is to have you see a board-certified physician who specializes in bariatrics or obesity medicine. But then, don't just use the medication to eat less of the same foods and lose weight through that alone. Take advantage of the time to do a deep dive into what it means to you to increase your health span. At the end of the day, you're not only looking to be a smaller size. I think most of us are looking to be fit and to live longer, healthier, to increase our health spans. There's so much you can do to live healthier longer, and losing weight the smart way is an important step. Look at your sleep, look at the ingredients in your food, look at your social connections, your plastic use, your exposure to pollution and forever chemicals. All of this matters and should be addressed at the same time you're working on weight loss with medication. If you'd like to do a deeper dive into this, we'd love to help. We're coming to the end of our New Year's discount. Head over to smartweightlosscoaching.com and enter the coupon code HAPPY2024 in all caps to get into our group program before the code expires. And before you wrap up, please be sure to write down your NBA, your next best action for today. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.